Sauriez-vous quoi répondre si un Britannique vous demande Fancy a cuppa ou Fancy a cheeky biscuit? Et sauriez-vous traduire en français ces adjectifs typically British? I'm gutted, I'm knackered. Dans cet épisode de podcast, vous allez découvrir 11 expressions typically British que vous allez pouvoir utiliser pour faire passer votre anglais de scolaire débutant hésitant à parler comme les natifs. Mais avant de démarrer, si vous voulez vous remettre à l'anglais de façon simple, rapide et efficace, je vous propose d'aller télécharger un programme sur un mois qui se trouve dans la description ou flasher le QR code à l'écran. Je vous laisse avec vos hôtes britanniques, James and Sarah. Enjoy listening, enjoy watching.
Hello and welcome back to the Leia English podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm James. Today we're diving into something that makes British English absolutely unique. Our wonderfully quirky expressions that can leave non-native speakers completely baffled.
That's right, James. We've chosen 11 expressions that are quintessentially British, and we'll explain not just what they mean, but when to use them and how they make you sound like a proper Brit.
Now, Sarah, before we start, imagine you've just finished a massive project at work. Everything went perfectly, and your boss is delighted. How would you describe that situation using a very British expression?
Oh, I'd say, well, I just followed the instructions, added the final touches, and Bob's your uncle. The project was complete.
Perfect. And that brings us to our first expression, Bob's your uncle. Now, this has absolutely nothing to do with anyone's actual uncle named Bob, does it?
Not at all. It means, and there you have it, or it's as simple as that. It's used when you're explaining how easy something is. For instance, just add hot water to the pasta, boil for 10 minutes, and Bob's your uncle. Dinner is ready.
The beauty of this expression is that it suggests something is straightforward and successful. You might also hear, and Bob's your uncle and Fanny's your aunt for extra emphasis, though that's becoming less common.
Now, James, speaking of things we enjoy, what would you say if someone offered you a meal you really don't fancy?
Well, I'd probably say politely, thanks, but curry really isn't my cup of tea. Which brings us to expression number 2. It's not my cup of tea.
This is such a gentle British way of saying you don't like something, isn't it? It's much softer than saying I hate it or I don't like it.
Exactly. You could say heavy metal music isn't really my cup of tea, or extreme sports aren't my cup of tea. It's wonderfully diplomatic.
And of course it comes from our national obsession with tea. Speaking of which, our third expression is directly related. Fancy a cuppa?
Ah yes, cuppa, short for cup of tea. This is probably the most British question you'll ever hear. Fancy here means would you like or do you want?
You'll hear this dozens of times a day in Britain. Fancy a cuppa? Put the kettle on, let's have a cuppa. It's our solution to everything. Upset, have a cuppa. Celebrating, have a cuppa.
Too right. Now let's move to something that describes how many Brits feel after a long day. Knackered.
Knackered means absolutely exhausted, doesn't it, James? It's much stronger than just tired.
It certainly is. You might say, I'm completely knackered after that 10-hour shift. Or, the kids have left me absolutely knackered. It suggests you're so tired you can barely function.
Similar words would be shattered, done in, or dead on my feet. But knackered has this lovely, informal, down-to-earth quality that's very British.
Now, Sarah, imagine someone has just told you they've won the lottery. How might you express your amazement using British slang?
I'd probably say brilliant with real enthusiasm, and that's our next expression, though it might surprise our listeners how much we use this word.
It might indeed. While other English speakers might say great or awesome, we Brits say brilliant for almost everything positive. How was the film? Brilliant? Did you enjoy dinner? Absolutely brilliant.
It's worth noting that we use it much more casually than the literal meaning suggests. A brilliant meal doesn't have to be intellectually stunning. It just means really good.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about a word that describes someone who's being a bit naughty, but in a charming way, cheeky.
Cheeky is wonderfully British, isn't it? It means someone is being slightly impertinent or bold, but in an endearing way rather than offensive.
You might say, don't be cheeky, to a child who's being playfully rude, Or he's got a cheeky grin about someone who's being mischievous. A cheeky pint means a quick drink you probably shouldn't have.
And we love cheeky combined with other words. A cheeky takeaway, a cheeky chocolate, a cheeky holiday. It suggests something spontaneous and slightly indulgent.
Now, what about when you really can't be bothered to do something, Sarah?
I can't be bothered. Expression number 7. This means you don't have the energy or motivation to do something. It's different from not wanting to do it. It's more about lacking the effort.
Right. I can't be bothered to cook tonight. Let's order pizza. Or, I can't be bothered with ironing. I'll just wear something that doesn't wrinkle.
Similar expressions might be, I can't be fagged, though that's becoming less common, or I can't be asked, which is rather more vulgar.
Now here's a scenario, Sarah. Your football team has just lost in the final minute of a crucial match. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'd be absolutely gutted. Gutted means devastated or deeply disappointed, doesn't it?
It does indeed. It's much stronger than just disappointed. I'm gutted about not getting the job, or she was gutted when her holiday was cancelled.
The word suggests you feel like someone has punched you in the stomach. That's the gut connection. It's very expressive.
Now let's talk about expression number 9, wind up. This has a couple of meanings, doesn't it, Sarah?
It certainly does. The most common meaning is to deliberately annoy or tease someone. Stop winding me up, or he's just winding you up, meaning he's just trying to get a reaction.
You might also say someone is taking the wind-up if they're believing something that's clearly a joke. And the person doing it is a wind-up merchant.
The other meaning is to end up somewhere, often unexpectedly. We got lost and wound up in completely the wrong town. That's more about ending up rather than teasing.
Excellent point. Now what about when it's raining particularly heavily, Sarah?
Oh, then it's throwing it down. This means it's raining very heavily indeed, much more dramatic than just saying it's raining hard.
You might also hear, it's chucking it down, it's hammering down, or it's coming down in buckets. We Brits have so many ways to describe rain, probably because we get so much of it.
Too true. And finally, our last expression, pop in or pop out. These are such useful little phrases, aren't they?
They are. Pop in means to visit briefly and casually. I'll pop in to see you later, or pop in anytime you're passing.
And pop out means to leave briefly to do something quick. I'm just popping out to the shops, or can you pop out and get some milk?
You can also pop over to visit someone nearby, pop round to someone's house, or pop up when something appears unexpectedly. It all suggests something quick and casual.
The word pop makes everything sound effortless and friendly, doesn't it? Very British approach to social interaction.
Now, Sarah, let's talk about using these expressions appropriately. They're quite informal, aren't they?
Absolutely. You wouldn't use most of these in a formal business meeting or academic paper. They're perfect for casual conversation, though.
Right. Saying I can't be bothered to your boss about an important task wouldn't go down well. But saying it to friends about doing the washing up, perfectly normal.
And some of these, like brilliant and cheeky, can work in slightly more formal contexts if used carefully. But gutted and knackered are definitely casual.
That's a crucial point about register. Now, for our listeners who want to sound more British, how would you suggest they start using these?
I'd say start with the safer ones. Brilliant, cup of tea, metaphorically, and Bob's your uncle. These are widely understood and hard to get wrong.
Good advice, and listen to how British people use them in context. The tone and situation matter enormously.
Exactly. Cheeky said with a smile is charming. Said with annoyance might cause offence. Context is everything.
And don't try to use them all at once. Nothing sounds more forced than cramming British slang into every sentence.
Oh yes, avoid saying, I'm absolutely knackered from our brilliant chinwag, fancy popping out for a cheeky cuppa. That would sound like a parody.
Precisely. Natural usage comes with time and practice. Start with 1 or 2 expressions and build from there.
And remember, these expressions often carry emotional undertones. Gutted shows you really care about something. Can't be bothered suggests a very relaxed attitude.
That's brilliant observation, Sarah. These aren't just words, they reveal British attitudes and culture.
Exactly. Our love of understatement, our casual approach to social interaction, our ability to be polite even when declining something, it's all wrapped up in these expressions.
And they make conversations more colourful and engaging, don't they? Instead of just saying, it's raining, you can paint a picture with, it's absolutely throwing it down.
Absolutely. Now, before we finish, let's do a quick recap for our listeners. James, can you give us a scenario using several of these expressions?
Right, here we go. I was absolutely knackered after work yesterday, so I couldn't be bothered to cook. I thought I'd just pop out for a cheeky takeaway, but then it started throwing it down. I got completely soaked, which left me feeling gutted. But my mate Sarah popped round with fish and chips, and Bob's your uncle. Brilliant evening.
Perfect. That sounded completely natural and very British indeed.
And that, listeners, is how these expressions work in real life. They flow naturally in conversation and add character to your English.
So there you have it, 11 expressions that will make you sound more British than a cup of tea and a queue.
Brilliant. Until next time, this has been the English Corner. I'm James.
And I'm Sarah. Keep practicing these expressions and remember, don't try to use them all at once. Just pop them into conversation naturally.
Bob's your uncle. You'll be speaking like a Brit in no time.
Thanks for listening, thanks for watching until the end. Merci d'avoir écouté ce podcast, j'espère qu'il vous a plu. Si jamais vous voulez continuer l'aventure, vous pouvez aller télécharger un programme gratuit sur un mois pour se remettre à l'anglais de façon simple et efficace. Vous pouvez télécharger dans la description en cliquant sur le lien ou flasher le QR code à l'écran. Et si jamais ce podcast vous a plu et que vous voulez écouter d'autres podcasts similaires pour améliorer votre écoute de l'anglais et de l'anglais britannique, je vous propose de cliquer sur la vidéo qui apparaît à l'écran ou de checker la playlist The Leah English Podcast. Thanks for listening again and see you next time. Bye!